Alright, now that you got your D-bag open, I've gone ahead and completed step D3, which 1, 2, and 3 actually, which is to assemble the diff. Again, if you need help doing that, refer back to one of the videos towards the beginning of the series. Again, just keep an eye out for the gear and how it goes on, because it's all 3 gears are different on all 3 diffs. So we've got that done. I decided to show you the rear case and how to put it into the rear case, because the rear case is a little bit different than the front case. So now that we have all of our parts, we are going to get some bearings out, which are, of course, say it, you know it, say it, FastEddyBearings.com. And we are going to get out 2 of the 5x10s. And we're going to install one onto the little gear here. Push it into the back hole here. We're going to get one more. Wrong bearing. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the wrong bearing. Let's take a look here. 5x11. Yeah. Where's my bearing? Here it is. There we go. Push that one onto the front. Make sure it seats in. Again, make sure everything operates smoothly. Alright, now a little bit different is we have these little sleeves that fit over the bearings on the actual diff itself, which is different than the front diff case. So let's take a look at the directions here. We're going to point the diff in this direction here, and we are going to take, there's 2 different sleeves. One has a big oval hood, let's call it a hood on it, and the other one does not. It's more of just a round unit. So this one's going to go onto the gear side. We're just going to press it onto the bearing, just like so. And we're going to press the other one on to the other side. Now, if you take a look, these have little feet on them. You can see right here, just like a little sharp edge. See if we can get it into the light a little better. You can see the little feet right here. And on this one, it has a little feet right here. Little flat spots on them. So, as we put those in, we have to figure out which way those little feetsies are going to go. The diff is going to drop in, of course. There's a bigger portion here, and they're going to drop in like that. Now, we have to get this set. You can see that there's a little rounded cutout here in the diff housing, and this little hood, or the rounded area, has to slide down into the little grooves that are in there and fit in there. Alright, getting old's a bitch, man. I had to put my bifocals on. Reading glasses. But let's get this up a little closer here. You can see that there's little slots in here, and the slot on the little bearing holders slide down into that. And as you're doing the side that has the gear on there, those little flat feet have to slide down, and you can see this side has the little rounded spot that goes in there. Just like normal, every time you put something together, make sure that it's rotating freely. We're going to put a little bit of grease on here. Just like so. Get that lubed up. Then we're going to put the two diff halves together and screw it together just like we did on the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera and we'll be right back. Okay, on to step D5. In the previous step I went ahead and screwed together the case and everything is operating very smoothly and ready to go, so we're going to set this aside for the moment. We're going to build our rear hub assemblies and CV joints very, very much like the ones that we did for the front, except for these go on the rear. And we don't have steering, so we're just going to have a fixed rear hub. Very straightforward. You can use a little bit of grease on the bone here. Put this all together. Building these CVs are pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Not much to them. Sometimes getting the pins lined up is the most difficult part. Again, we have a left and a right, as you can see by the little L and the R on there. So as we go to put them onto the rig, you're going to have to make sure that you put the right ones in the right spot. I've already pre-installed the screws onto the hubs here. Little hexes, I should say. God, it's tough with these drivers not fitting in there properly. Every screw is a struggle. Okay. Make sure everything rotates freely. We'll move on to the next one. Put on our, okay, say it, whose bearings? They are FastEddyBearings.com bearings. FastEddy.com bearing. Put that little sucker together, slip the pin in, and we are just about done. Come on. Sitting there dry humping it. There's no screwing going on because it's not inside the hole. There we go. Okay. All set to go. Everything's moving freely. And we are done with step D5. We have a left and a right rear CV hub assemblies. Next. Alright, this next step is D6. We've got quite a bit going on here, but it's not that complicated. And most of it we have done before. And we are dealing with both a left and a right side again. So just to start off with, I've inserted the droop screws into the A-arms. And they are labeled here, of course, left and right. When you see the L and you see the R, that is the top of the A-arm. And that's where you're going to insert the droop screw. And again, I just put them in until they're flush. We'll adjust those later when we adjust the truck. We're going to start off with the tow bars on the diff, and we're going to put the diff with the input shaft towards us here, and we're going to grab the tow bar that does not have the little nub on the bottom. You see this one has a nub, this one goes straight across. Now, looking at the directions, very clearly states that we use the 1 offsets, and I'm assuming that's 1 degree offset in this unit, and it doesn't designate at all, but what's included in the kit for the other one is a 0 degree. So we're going to put the 1 degree in this unit and the 0s in the other. Now when you're doing that, you have to take a look, and you can see that there's an offset on here, and they're offset in a particular direction. You can see that there's a lot less meat over here than there is on the other side. And looking at the directions, it's showing me that the 1, you can see that there's the number 1 on the front there, is pointing to the outside. So just look on your directions and you're going to see how that is pointed. So we're going to take this unit and we're going to point the 1 to the outside, just like so. And we're going to put it in. Snap it in, and we're going to do the same with the other one, making sure that it is in the proper direction. So it should look like that. If we turn it in the proper direction, it's going to look like that. So again, that's according to the directions the way I'm reading them. So I could be wrong. Alright, so we're going to attach this unit into these 2 holes, and we're going to use the provided screws, assuming that my nut driver actually fits into the holes, which they don't. Okay. Come on. Let's start threading there. I'm afraid to push too hard because I don't want to strip the heads of these out. Just till it's snug. You hear my dog in the background? I think she needs to go. I think she needs to go out. So we're going to get this screwed in, and I'm going to go take the dog for a walk. Alright. So we have that attached, just like so.